I come to you this morning after deep communion. One of the things that my man shared with me as a way to relate the hero's journey, I thought was so powerful, and I've completely adopted it. He learned it from his teacher. And that was kind of the retelling of the very disparate parts of the hero's journey in a more condensed way. So, step one is that you go to war with yourself, meaning that you really look at the lies that you have accumulated, both your own and generationally, and you go to war with them, and you eradicate the lies that you have been living and carrying around for most of your life, a lot of them born in childhood, and a lot of them born through you, but not of you. And it takes a lot of work to do that. And at that time, and what that does for you is it builds power. And in that time of building power, it's very likely that you will feel a complete revelation. Like, I finally know myself. I finally understand all the lies and that generational burdens that I've been carrying. And that is true. It is true. But it is just the start of the journey. The next step is then to go to war with the power, because there is a narcissistic part of the first step that is necessary. You do need to put your head up your own ass to do that kind of excavation. You need to allow yourself to go to the bottom of the pit. You need to sit with your shadows, and you need to drown a little bit. You need to flounder. And there's joy in that journey too. The next stage, and this stage, all of these things repeat over and over, they are cyclical. The next stage is you now go to war with your power, because you must have an ego. But if the ego leads the way, you've slipped back into stage one. So you go to war with your power, where really the end result is humility. And I was here for a long time. And what I realized that I did, almost like anti-narcissistically, is that I allowed that idea of humility to sap my responsibility of leadership. I have said on this channel, I no longer need to be a priestess. I am merely an acolyte. And that's fine. Title aside, that's fine. However, I think that the switch of those titles was an abdication of my own throne of sovereignty. I allowed myself to be a co-leader. I allowed myself to subjugate myself, let myself off the hook. And that's true in every aspect of my life. My body is my domino. My body is my instrument. And what did I do? I let my practices go. Why did I let my practices go? Because I was not living as an example as a leader. If you desire, if you are born and you have leadership within you, and I believe that we all do, especially now for those that are awake and aware, it is my responsibility to live as demonstration of those tenets of leadership. And I was not doing that. And that's a lie. And I was hiding behind this idea of false humility. Now, I'm not saying you walk around with a cape all day, but you know what? A little swagger and a good dose of healthy, tempered self-love for the ego is mandatory. If you don't believe it, one of my favorite lines of all time, RuPaul, if you don't love you, how the hell are you going to love somebody else? Or how the hell is somebody else going to love you? And love you, or you allow or lead them? And again, when I say lead, I just mean set the example. Live as the example. And this oracular transmission that I give daily is my responsibility. One of my gifts is that I am unafraid to share the glory, the absolute pain, the when I am flattened. I don't care. I show up gross and ugly. I show up made up and beautiful. I show up every way. I keep showing up because my contribution is to show the entire hero's journey, the 2 steps forward, the 10 steps back, the falling off, the getting back on, the rededication, the reapplication to being on the path. And I will tell you that that is what this space, if you watch my video from the other day, that is what this space has provided me. It has forced me to turn inward. And in inward, I saw what I was lacking. What am I lacking? I'm lacking my dedication to my own leadership and stewardship. And why was it lacking? Because I allowed myself to wear this false cloak of humility that removed the responsibility of leadership to myself. So I ask you to ask the tough question of yourself today is what are you with benevolent reason allowing yourself off the hook from? I had every intention. I really thought I was doing the right thing. But that is its own magician's trick right there. Staying committed, living your life as an act of leadership is my path. And I rededicate myself to that path. And my body had to lead the way, as it always does. And that is what has come up for me today. And that is my body of truth for the day. And I will see you tomorrow.